Thank you so much for your comments. And I particularly like a comment from Gilda Lee 27. It's so good, I think I'd like to read out exactly what has been written. Historical note, and this is in response to one of the videos I put up about Prince Harry. Historical note, the royal family, specifically the current king's grandparents, never stopped providing cash income to their brother-in-law, the Duke of Windsor, while he was helping Nazi Germany destroy his own country, which he had abandoned. Even when the Duke agreed to be Hitler's puppet king after the planned invasion of Britain by Nazi Germany. Even after the war. A book published in 2022 documents that the royal family, presumably King George VI, arranged to find and retrieve letters and other written proof of his brother's ongoing communications with Nazi German operatives and leadership. This shows the royal family knew their uncle was a traitor to their own nation, yet they kept paying his allowance. And the book references Traitor King, the scandalous exile of the Duke and Duchess of Windsor by Andrew Loney. Meanwhile, the nation's current king and head of state has withdrawn all financial support for his son, an international target of assassins and terrorists. Are we surprised that Charles would leave his own son's life and family vulnerable to attack, when he likewise refused to pay for professional security for Harry's mother? For goodness sake, Charles stopped paying for his sons and daughter-in-law's food and clothing while they worked for the family. He starved his own Tim. Come to think of it, it appears that there may be a family pattern of starving their children. See the film based on known facts about Charles's grandfather, King George VI, entitled The King's Speech, in which he recounts being starved as a child by his nanny because she did not like him, but his parents didn't even notice for 3 years. 3 years. I dispute some of that. Churchill, other establishment and government officials, and the British intelligence services, having forced him to abdicate, made sure Charles's great-uncle could only do limited damage to the British nation and allies during the Second World War. It seems to this American that among the many failures of recent Conservative UK government is their inability to remedy the brewing security situation among the Windsors, as if they've not taken the few moments it would require to imagine the damage to the nation should international terrorists manage to kidnap or harm the king's son, the king's daughter-in-law, or the king's grandchildren, who are now prince and princess, if I understand correctly. If anything of that terrible sort were to happen, God forbid, the damage to the nation would be incalculable. Damage to the brand would be of lesser concern. I don't think I entirely agree with everything that's written there, but I think it merits consideration, and it is wonderful to have such a full and interesting comment on these pages. So I do encourage as many comments as possible, even those that I may not entirely agree with. They're always interesting, and I hope this comment in particular elicits some sort of response, and that maybe it can stimulate a sense of responsibility, which is sadly lacking in both our government, our royal family, and in individuals, shall we say. We need to have greater responsibility if we are to secure a positive future.